I hope you enjoy your stay on this pittance of an island while I rule the sea.
Okay, so you brought around Disney Infinity.
Toys.
Yeah, toys. Most importantly, toys. You've been playing it for a bit longer than I have, so what are your first impressions of it?
Well, about half an hour longer, but yes, it's...
I didn't intend to be on it that long, but it's quite addictive.
No, yeah, it's super fun because it's so simple and it's got that kind of like Lego touch to it, and I love the Lego games, it's my passion. And it's the simplicity of it all that makes it...
Makes you want to keep playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But infuriating so, because you're like, yeah, this is toys, it's time for kids, but I love it.
I mean, I'll admit, when I first saw it getting advertised, it just kind of looked like a kind of rip-off of Skylanders to me. And to be fair, when I went in and played it, it seems to be a lot different. There seems to be a lot more to it.
I think in the basis of it all, you've got the portal, the characters, you put the characters on the portal and you get the game, so instantly it's Skylanders. But when you actually get into the game, it's a lot more different to what you would normally get with the Skylanders. There's a lot less figures as well. But
Yeah.
It's like Little Big Planet, Minecraft and Skylanders all had a little party. And this was the outcome. I mean, this all stemmed from the Toy Story 3 game, but it wasn't actually the main game. It was a subsection that you could play after you'd finished the main game. It was called Toy Box Mode, funnily enough. And they realised that a lot of people gave really good feedback about Toy Box Mode compared to the main game, which they got a different department to do. And then it's the same company that made Toy Story 3 that ended up working on Disney Infinity.
Yeah, from the time that I've played it, there's a lot more to the game than what I first expected.
See, I'd never played it co-op.
Uh-huh.
And then the instant I hit you by mistake, I was like, yes, yes.
Oh yeah, you hit me by mistake, but then you kept hitting me.
Yep.
And then threw me in the water.
And it ended up with being a little PvP battle. But no, it's like, even when we're playing co-op, the simple things like having the wee challenges and throwing stuff at each other, it's the simple things. And as adults, that shouldn't be as fun as
it is, yeah.
But it is, it's totally fun. That's what I like about it. It's like we've got the building block there, which gives you the three worlds, gives you Incredibles, Pirates of the Caribbean and Monsters University. And I mean, we played the majority of Incredibles as co-op. But it's the fact that you've got all three of these movies to play through.
Yeah.
And you're playing Pirates of the Caribbean for quite some time, and it's got a good length to it, and I mean possibly more because we've never even kind of touched upon it.
Yeah.
But the main premise of that is you unlock the items to then take into Toy Box Mode, which seems it could be infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
Yay.
Pick out another palm tree. Okay, look for a small hillside. Line it up to the cliff so you can go up. Follow that pirate.
In a sense, they did pick the right name for it, Infinity, because they just could keep going. But the good thing is with the first game, when you go into the Hall of Heroes, as they call it, you can see everything you can buy and you can get within essentially the first game. So you know exactly how many playsets are going to be, exactly how many characters, how many power-ups, how many essentially themes or items that you can add into the game, and it gives you a way to collect it all if you really wanted to go down that route.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Toy Vault. Go ahead, take a spin. I've got a new toy.
It's what Disney have tried to capture, is that they've realised that kids don't play with their toy boxes anymore. They don't pull out their toys and go, right, let's make a game.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to play Star Wars with my G.I. Joes and Star Wars and have my bike as like a base, and they would like go up the pedals and elevator, and I think that's what they're trying to capture with this, thinking, right, well, we need to go to video games to get that same sort of...
And the thing is, it's not even like the actual, you know, the actual figures themselves. They look good.
Aye. I mean, if you can compare it to Skylanders, the Skylanders characters, sometimes the paint jobs can be really shoddy, but even stuff like Syndrome's hair, it's like the little nice wee airbrush effects to give it different tones. It's much better and much better quality than the Skylanders figures.
Yeah.
And even having them just kind of sit about, they look great, and especially because they've got that one style that goes right across all the figures.
So I think overall for me, what I kind of took away from it is that when I first saw it in the shops, I was put off because, like I said, I wasn't a big Disney guy. But I think what to remember is when you see it in the shops, don't think of it as a kid's game.
It
is a kid's game, but I really enjoyed playing through it.
Don't judge a book by its cover type thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you would agree with that. Like,
no, totally. I mean, before, when Skylanders was first getting created, I got taken down to London to go and see it. I thought this is an amazing experience, but Disney Infinity takes that to a new level with creating your own things, and to me, being creative like that ties into what's current with Minecraft and Little Big Planet, and that freedom definitely gives you that extra edge over your competition, so to speak. But that's simplicity at its best, and it's why the Lego games are still really strong. Keep it simple, keep it clean, and you're rocking.
So, Payday 2, it's essentially like a remake of the original.
Yeah, I think what they've done is they've went and made a full game of what they originally intended to make in Payday 1. Kind of reminds me of Evil Dead 2, actually.
Yeah,
it's
the same thing but done differently.
Yeah.
Because essentially the original, it seemed like a mod for Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I mean, there was similarities. I think we've talked about it before, in that instead of moving through an area, you would occupy an area and kind of things would get thrown at you.
Yeah.
And then that kind of sense it was similar to Left 4 Dead. Like I got the first one in PS Plus.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up getting it originally, and I really enjoyed it. But when you played it offline, it was ridiculous because you had to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
You basically could only tell the AI controlled players to either go over there or come back.
Yeah.
The only thing they would really do is shoot at cops if they turned up or come and heal you.
Yeah.
That was pretty much all they did.
I mean, essentially, because this is a problem, if you design a game that has a single player mode but you can't actually play it, you think they'd put in things to compensate for that, because there's a lot of missions where like you have to pick up, say, like 8 bags of jewellery and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, take all this stuff and put it into an escape van.
Right.
If only you can pick that stuff up, that's it becomes impossible. So if they just made it like when you're playing single player that you only had to pick up 2 or 3 bags, that would make it so much simpler.
Yeah.
But,
and it's not even like there's a specific kind of just, if you point at a guy and press the interact button, they do it for you. I mean, when you think about it, Monkey Island has that.
Yeah,
interact,
that,
do
click
that,
do this.
Yeah. They can't do that for this game.
James, come with me!
The fundamental flaw is even when you're playing online, is you need to play it with people who, like, you know, are smart.
Yeah.
Like, because the amount of times I play with people and you're trying to go in stealth, you do all the kind of the smart things, like you knock out guards, answer their pagers, make sure no one's like detecting you.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you're ready to, like, you know, go in and get all the stuff, one guy walks in the front door, sticks on his mask and starts shooting everyone. Like, you're like,
okay,
why?
Yeah.
So essentially you can't play with the AI and you can't play online, but you can to an extent, but the only real way to play this game is with friends.
Yeah.
Like, if you can get like 3 other people and yourself online at the same time, this game is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It's much the same as the first one. I mean, that's what made me buy 2, was because the first one was so fun when we played it online with friends. The only one, again, likening it back to the Left 4 Dead series,
Yeah.
That's a game that's amazing when you play it online.
Yeah, definitely. It needs to have that correct team of people,
Uh-huh.
and when you all work together, especially in like versus mode in Left 4 Dead 2,
Uh-huh.
when you always play the bad guys, you can trap people perfectly. This game's got a lot of that.
Uh-huh.
If you can work together as a cohesive team, take the right equipment,
Yeah.
cover the right bases, you'll be fantastic at this, and you'll have a blast playing it.
Yeah.
Like there'll be nothing better, no better online experience.
Like the other thing that they put in as well that kind of complements that as well is that there's now classes of characters that you can take,
Yes, yeah.
which they didn't have before. It was basically just you were all the same character for all intents and purposes. I mean, you had different masks, but that was about it.
The worst thing about this is like when you go into the game, you have obviously your character classes, but you don't just you can't just pick from the one tree. You can pick from as many trees as you want, but you need to level up through them.
Yeah.
Once the game gets to say like you're about level 30 and beyond, it takes forever to fill the XP gauge.
Yeah.
Because the first few missions, EXP just floats you through them.
Similar to Battlefield.
Yeah,
In that sense.
but if you want to try and upgrade your guy to those later levels,
Yeah.
you have to grind a lot. Like once you get to level 30, like you seriously have to do like 6 or so missions to get 1 point.
Yeah.
And everything on that from that point on now costs like 4 points per upgrade. And it just
And
becomes
that's just to get the original unlock.
yeah, it's ridiculous how far you need to take it.
Yeah.
And in saying that, you're supposed to be able to like bridge trees in this, can like go over to another class and do what you want, but you can barely get halfway through a normal character with like the amount of skill points you get.
Yeah.
The main reason to continue to go on these missions and keep repeating them over and over and over again, which is essentially what the game is so that you can get more money and more unlocks.
To make you better at robbing.
Yeah.
So you can get more money.
And
so
more
you get more
unlocks.
unlocks.
and
masks as well.
Yeah, and be better at robbing, because
Yeah.
that's essentially all you seem to do is just get more and more and more stuff until you're like a multi-millionaire with all the guns in the world, the coolest looking mask, and like
Raise your offshore account balance.
yeah, which you can't do anything with. But it just
come into play.
it's like an e-penis of sorts. It's like, look how much money I can't spend.
All this fake money I've got.
It's kind of like real life, essentially. It's like it's all that money you can't really spend. You're saving up for a house or whatever. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Sell a collection of masks.
Yeah, but that's the cool thing about it. It's just giving you that kind of like collector like mindset where you really just want to get lots of cool stuff.
Yeah.
But you're hurting people in the process to get it, essentially.
Yeah. Although it does punish you for hurting civilians.
Really?
Kill as many cops as you like.
Yeah, they don't matter. Like
Yeah,
they don't have families to
families.
go to. Don't care how many of them you slaughter as long as you don't touch those civilians. But the customization in the game is quite expansive. I mean, like not just like painting your masks and all that kind of thing. I mean, your main gun, you can attach like I don't know, is there like maybe 20, 30 things to it?
Yeah, I mean there's like what stock, like extended barrels, sights and things like that.
Yes,
there's more than that. But,
silencers, grips,
Yeah.
you know, extended mags, there's everything, laser sights.
Yeah.
You know, they're very expensive and hard to get, but you know, they are there.
I only just like made enough money there to get a sight for the AK-47, although it's not called the AK-47.
No. But the main thing to point out here, though, is that you can't just buy the upgrades. That's the main problem.
No.
You need to farm what are called Payday cards.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like randomized cards that either may be a mask upgrade or a weapon upgrade, and you don't know
or
what
a
you're
colour.
Gonna, you don't know what you're going to get, and essentially that gives you an unlock for your weapon, and or it might not. It might just give you nothing.
Yeah.
Like something you don't even have, like a gun you've never unlocked before, and you've
Or
never got like
you-
a silencer for it, and you're
Yeah.
like, great. Like, I'll need to spend 10 grand to get that gun. Not 10 grand, sorry. It's like what,
100 grand.
200
Yeah,
for some of these things, and you're like,
Well, that's like I was saying. I think the cheapest thing that I've seen was that an extended barrel.
Yeah.
It was like 36 grand.
36 grand. I mean, like,
you're lucky to come away with after a small mission with like 10 grand.
yeah, these guys, like, you know, they're obviously professional bank robbers, but they can't seem to find someone on the black market who will sell them weapons for anything less than what they got paid for a bank job.
Yeah.
You know?
That's 6. Escape has arrived. Hurry up! That's 7.
See, the game is essentially designed for PC, and this PlayStation version, I'd say it's quite a poor port. I mean, I usually don't, like, graphics for me don't matter a lot of the time, but when I picked up and played this game, I was like, whoa, what is this crap? I couldn't, like, see anything in the distance. The game looked like it was running at, like, 640 by 480, upscaled. The textures are, like, an abomination. The shadows are
Specifically,
non-existent.
like, monitors is the one that I've noticed.
Yeah.
Monitors are really bad for some reason. But again, like we noticed earlier on, there seems to be one or two things that they put in the game where the textures are fine, but it's really random stuff, like a little tiny poster.
Yeah.
And you can read it.
Like
there's a monitor that's 4 times the size of it, and you can't actually make out what's on the screen.
Yeah, like one of the main things you have to interact with first is like in your hideout. And it's like a security feed.
Yeah.
And you go to that and you can't see anything.
No.
But on the wall behind you there's a picture of a building in New York, and it's perfectly like, high res. And you're like, why is that more important than the thing you have to interact with? That's just badly done. But I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect the gameplay experience, but it takes you maybe a while to get used to it, because you're just
you can't kind of shut it off immediately.
I mean, you're looking at it like I say, like the shadows, they look like something from like an Atari game. Like they are like atrocious. And
the one that's particularly bad and it actually affects the game is the nightclub level.
Yeah.
When you're playing in the nightclub level, and I don't really like that level because of it, because the cops come in who have dark uniforms and you're in a nightclub. It's dark,
it's pitch black,
and the carpets are dark.
Yeah.
And the walls are dark. So when you shoot, you literally can just see like little kind of blobs moving about, and you're like, is that a cop?
Because that's the thing, the lighting engine is so downgraded on the console version that you're essentially just guessing at what you're doing, hoping that the auto aim will target them for you.
Yeah. Despite its flaws, like you say, the graphics kind of sometimes leave a bit to be desired. A lot of the textures are quite bad, and the issue I had with kind of people kind of juddering across the screen in the background. But other than that, I would recommend this to my friends.
Yeah, it's definitely the worst of games and the best of games at the same time.
So take that with a pinch of salt.
This is how we do it.
This is how we do it.